Here's a couple of ideas. I said if you have a problem or you can't change the landscaping, you have too much concrete, whatever, you might need to install some metal. Just get some L metal, caulk the heck out of this, use a real good sealant. And sealants, a lot of people ask me, what should I use? I like the polybutylene, I think it is. It's a window and door sealant. And silicone too. Silicone works good, but don't forget to ask your local home improvement store representative or lumberyard for their input also. So you're going to need some caulking here because you're going to be squashing that piece in there, and hopefully you come up with a nice flat surface like this. But either way, you want to make sure that your metal is sealed and as much as you can put in there. I'm not saying you need to have it in so it all squishes and goos out here. That might not be good because then it might be hard to clean this up. So use your best judgment on that. Might need to put a brick or something on top of the metal to keep it in place while it is drying. Another thing you can do is use longer metal, taller metal, wider metal, whatever you think is going to work. Just make sure it doesn't create a trip hazard. You might need metal that goes that's angled to where you can seal everything, and then it'll go over the base metal here, the base metal for the sunroom. So you might need to angle that also. Throwing out some ideas, like I said. Another thing might be to caulk any vertical member where there is a gap. Any water that gets behind the metal can run down and get behind all of the metal here, and any water that stays in here for a long period of time. I believe these things are made out of a variety of different things. If it's made out of metal, it might rust. Aluminum, it might corrode. If it's made out of wood or wood products, it might rot. So keep that in mind. The vertical, anything really that you think is going to leak water could leak water into it and create problems for you. I said you could use larger metal. If you do, you can always put a piece of wood over it and then caulk the top of the wood. But the metal here, you can see where you could actually have a taller piece of metal and something to come out here a little farther, or it could actually come past the metal. And I like to see a gap behind here in case any water does get trapped. It can kind of drain out, but I understand, shove it up there tight. If you have water pooling up and you're using the wood here to help prevent that, you might want to have everything tight, and you might want to put some caulking at the base here to prevent any water from getting in here. And you might need to attach it from the inside, put some screws in there. That's going to be hard if you have metal here, or kind of like a cardboard pressboard material. You might need to even put a 1x4 across here and run it horizontally, and then attach it with screws, or even have some bolts go from the outside to the inside to prevent the wood from moving. Last but not least, I see this a lot, some brick. People just put brick around the perimeter, and if you have a puddle that's 10 inches coming around here, you might need to go 3 or 4 layers of brick, and this might actually work the best. Wood could rot and would need to be replaced. The brick might last for quite some time. But again, any little gaps or cracks in here, and you could have water leaking in here. So it really is. Make sure this is sealed. You can use larger metal with the brick again. I think brick is 3.5 inches wide. You could go with a 2-inch piece and seal this with caulking, and the mortar joint would allow for the mortar joint would kind of help to prevent the water from coming underneath here and form over the metal without a problem also. So and then of course this would need to be sealed on top. Put a piece of metal across here. You've got to have something. If you don't put something here, water's just going to leak behind here and create a bigger problem. So anyway, I hope that helps, gives you a few ideas if you do have some problems with the water pooling up in your backyard and draining into your sunroom. These just might make all the difference in the world. And if they do, don't forget to leave a comment. They are always greatly appreciated. And any questions, also leave them in the comment area or email them to us at the website.